team to Angola to provide vaccination to Chinese nationals. Angola currently has the 7th estimation of highest population of Chinese in Africa. Number 6. Ethiopia. The number of Chinese people living in Ethiopia has risen over the years. There are about 60,000 Chinese living in the country. A Chinese diplomat in Ethiopia interviewed in December 2014 stated there were 20,000 Chinese, while in contrast the Chinese ambassador in Addis Ababa stated there were 60,000 Chinese in January 2016 during a public interview. The Chinese community in the country works mostly in railway, telecom, and businesses. According to the Chinese ambassador, the Chinese community in the country has created about 1 million local jobs. Also in 2007, the first 300 volunteers selected from among 10,000 applicants to a new Chinese government program arrived in Ethiopia, Seychelles, and Zimbabwe. They would perform a variety of work including teaching Chinese, introducing hospital staff to traditional Chinese medicine, and aiding in poultry farming. Like in many African countries, the Chinese are seen as keeping to themselves. In 2007, another New York Times report by Howard French on Chinese in Ethiopia noted that clannish social interaction of Chinese by citing a communal compound of 200 Chinese workers for road and bridge construction, a Chinese construction company, who ate Chinese food, got health care from a Chinese doctor, and did not interact with outsiders. Number 5. Sudan. The relationship between Sudan and China is referred to as a bilateral relation. China is the largest trade partners in Sudan, with oil import and exporting low-cost manufactured items. They enjoy relationship in diplomacy, political strategy, and economic trades. This diplomatic relations began in 1959 after Sudan recognized China's sovereignty. Both countries are global allies and have supported themselves during crises and international controversies. Sudan houses about 74,000 Chinese. The country is holding the 5th highest Chinese population in Africa. Number 4. Zambia. The population of Chinese people living in the country has grown rapidly over the years. It began in 1970 with the largest aid project in Zambia, which is the construction of the Tazara Railway in Zambia. The construction saw thousands of Chinese workers migrating through the country. As of September 2014, it was reported that there were about 19,845 Chinese living in Zambia. However, the number has increased rapidly over the years. As at 2019, it was reported that there were about 80,000 Chinese living in the country. This means that they have the 4th highest Chinese population in Africa. Number 3. Madagascar. In 1862, the first Chinese migrant arrived to Madagascar, which is now known as Tomasina. The man settled in the country and got married to a local woman. 4 years after his arrival, 6 other Chinese came to Nosy Be, and then in 1872, 3 more arrived. Then in 1894, 14 other arrived Mahajanga, and then in 1896, 500 Chinese arrived to Madav. A year later, laborers were transported from China to Madagascar to work on a railway construction. The total number of Chinese living in the country back in 2011 was about 100,000. They mostly live in Tomasina and Antananarivo. The population of Chinese in Madagascar forms the 3rd highest Chinese population in Africa. Number 2. South Africa. According to sources, there are about 400,000 Chinese currently working and living in South Africa. There have been different waves of migration of the Chinese people to South Africa over the years. They have established various multilingual and multi-generational communities of Chinese in the country. Over the years, they have settled in various parts of the country. The new migrants from China are settling in rural towns in South Africa. South Africa currently has the 2nd highest Chinese population in the whole of Africa. Number 1. Ghana. The largest population of Chinese on the continent of Africa is in Ghana. Chinese people began migrating to Ghana since 1940s, and most of them came from Hong Kong. However, they began to migrate from mainland China in the 1980s. Although there is no exact value of the number of Chinese currently living in Ghana, they are estimated to be about 700,000. This means that about 2.4% of those living in Ghana are Chinese. Ghana is currently hosting the highest population of Chinese in Africa as a whole. Those are the top 10 African countries with the highest Chinese population. Thanks for watching, and if you did enjoy this video, do well to give it a like and also share to your friends and family.